Morning everybody, welcome to today's talk, which is all about how to stop hiding and start thriving. So I'd like to start by asking you, if you hide, think about why you hide, because there might be any number of reasons why you're hiding. It might be out of fear. I mean, that's really common, and that could be fear of what might happen if you really show yourself, maybe fear of what people might say about you or think about you. It might be a fear of, it might be hiding because of a sense of shame, because of something that's happened in the past. Maybe somebody's criticised you for being a certain way or saying a certain thing, and that stayed with you and left you with a feeling of shame. And basically hiding is because we are trying to keep ourselves safe in some way, out of fear or out of a feeling of not wanting something to happen that may have happened in the past. But the problem is that if we hide, it stops us living a full and rich life. So it is really worth trying to get over that desire to hide, and it is possible to do that. But before we get on to how we can do it, I just want you to think a little bit more about how you hide. Now, it could actually be physically, and I don't mean like hide and seek where you go and hide in a cupboard, but you could sort of contract and maybe hunch yourself. That's certainly something I've done for a lot of my life. I used to get really irritated as a child when my mum used to go on about, pull your shoulders back. But I know now why she did it, because I was hunching. And you can see the difference. I'm hunching now, and if I go like that and pull my shoulders back, you know, I lift up a couple of inches. And that is about filling the space that you are here to fill in this world. And I think there are a couple of reasons that I used to hide in that way. And one was because I grew tall very quickly, and so I stood out in a class of people, and I didn't like that, didn't like being seen in that way, so I kind of wanted to hunch out of it. But that itself, I think, came out of an inner feeling of not wanting to be seen, being very self-conscious, having low self-esteem for all sorts of reasons, which I now look back on and I can see the reasons for, but I'm not going to go into all of that now. I just mention it because it is something that it might be your experience as well. You might be hiding physically and contracting, trying to take up a small space in the world rather than being really seen for who you are, which is what we are going to come to. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Hiding is actually exhausting. It takes effort, and also if we are hiding out of fear or shame, those are low vibration emotions, and it doesn't do us any good to stay in those low vibrational states. It can lead to physical problems. It can attract low vibrational, or will attract low vibrational people to us, and low vibrational experiences, and that's not really the way that we would want our life to be. If we want to thrive, you know, we want to be in a high vibrational state. Ultimately, hiding can lead to overwhelm and burnout because it is just physically exhausting, because you are hiding your true self. You are trying to push yourself down and not be seen, but your inner self, your soul in there, wants to be seen. So you're having that constant internal battle by hiding, which is why it's so exhausting. And what can then happen, as I say, it can lead to overwhelm and burnout. But as I've talked about before, it's very much like a jack-in-the-box effect. So if you are pushing the real you down, like a jack-in-the-box toy, where you push the toy down in the box, you put the lid on, but you know that at some point that toy is going to burst out, well, hey, here I am. That can happen metaphorically in your life, because if you persistently hide and push yourself down, as I said, your inner self, your true self, wants to come out. And if we refuse to let it come out, at some point it's going to burst out in a way that is messy, it's dramatic, and it could actually be by way of some kind of illness or physical problem. That is really common, because what it's doing is it's trying to bring attention to the real you and what's really going on. And so it's presenting you with some dramatic thing that you can't ignore to really start that journey of finding your true self. I mean, that is so common. People have it, people call it all sorts of things, whether it's a wake-up call, a spiritual awakening, a Kundalini awakening, or just a kind of a life drama. It doesn't really matter what name you put on it, but I'm sure if you haven't experienced it yourself, you may have seen other people who've gone through that dramatic life event that has really made them wake up to their true selves. Sometimes it can be at the end of a relationship, like an unexpected marriage breakup, that kind of thing. That can be what brings yourself to the fore. And it's not nice to go through. You know, there are all sorts of, some people have real physical problems, you know, dramatic illnesses that they do then overcome. But as I say, it's not a nice way to have your true self try and burst out. So that's why I say, if you can, stop hiding now before you get to that dramatic bursting out, because that will be much, much better for you. So what I'm getting to is that what makes you thrive and how you can thrive is being true to yourself and allowing yourself to be the true you. So it's about accepting who you are. It's about doing what you want to do, saying what you want to say, saying what you think. Think about being like a peacock, you know, to show with that, well, the male peacock with that amazing tail showing off his true colours. You know, that's a really, well, I like to picture it that way. You know, you are stepping into your power when you are being your true self and really showing yourself in all your glory. Now, if you've spent a lifetime hiding or a long time hiding, it's not an easy thing to do. And I'm not saying go straight from hiding into, way, hey, here I am. If you want to, then fantastic. But it can take some time. So it's about the baby steps I was talking about. I think it was last week. You may need some form of healing or counselling, depending on what you've gone through. You know, if you've had trauma that's led you to hide yourself, then, you know, find somebody, some professional who can help you with that trauma. But recognise it, because working through it is what will enable you then to step into your true self and be your true self in the world, which is such a good feeling compared to hiding yourself away. Start speaking up. Again, this can be really, really difficult. And if you have habitually silenced yourself, then you might need to do some work on your throat chakra, because the chances are that your throat chakra will be blocked because you have suppressed your inner self and your thoughts and your communication. You haven't said what you think and what you really feel. Now, you can go and get healing on chakras. As you know, I do chakra dancing. We always do a track about the throat chakra, but you can start by healing your throat chakra yourself. There are easy ways that you can start doing it, and it is about using your voice. Now, it can be scary straight away to go into saying what you think, but you can do things like singing, you know, singing at the top of your voice around the house, because that frees up your vocal cords. You can have a good yell. You know, if you're in a house full of people and you don't want to yell around them, then there's a couple of great ways to do it. You can go somewhere outside when you're in an open space and there's nobody around, and just yell at the top of your voice. You can yell something if there's something you want to get off the chest, or you can just give it a big ah, you know, and keep doing it. It doesn't matter, whatever feels right for you. Another way of doing it, which I learned from Louise Hay actually, is to get in your car, whether it's on the drive or driving somewhere, but have all the windows up and just yell at the top of your voice inside your car when nobody can hear you. Anything like that helps to free up your vocal cords, free up your throat chakra. That will help you on your journey to saying what you think. Then talk to a trusted friend about how you feel, about whatever it is, about the fact that you've been hiding and why that might be. It could be a trusted family member, anybody that you feel safe with, to start opening up and start saying what you think and what you feel, because you've probably been keeping that bottled up for years. You could join a group that has the same interests as you, whether that's a physical group, an online group. If you're really wary of actually using your voice initially, an online group can be great, because you can start connecting with people and typing comments about how you feel, or endorsing how other people feel, rather than actually speaking initially. But then you can get up the courage to go and join an actual group, a real life group of people who share the same interests as you. Could be anything, whatever you're interested in. That can be a big step. So, if it's something that you feel would be helpful, try and get up the courage to do it. You don't have to talk to everybody in that group. Maybe there's just one friendly face that you can start speaking to when you first get there. And that is a way of stepping out. It's not just about the speaking part, it's about being seen as you, because you are there connecting with people over things that interest you. So there's a number of things that you can do to start getting out there. If you are a bit like I used to be, as I say, with the hunching, then just practice pulling yourself up. Try walking around your house, standing that bit taller and taking up the space that you are here to fill. There's lots of things that you can do, but it is about just taking it slowly. The first thing, as always, is to recognise that you have been hiding, and recognise that you would like to start changing. So maybe try some of the steps that I've talked about. Baby steps, as always. It's just starting on the journey that makes the difference. But you will find that if you take steps towards being true to yourself and being the real you, you will stop feeling so exhausted by hiding yourself, and you will start to thrive, because your inner self, your soul, will rejoice from the fact that it's being allowed out, and you will just feel lighter and brighter by being yourself in the world. There's a lovely phrase that I came across, I think it was from Rebecca Campbell in one of her oracle cards, which is "don't dim to fit in," because often we do dim our lights to try and fit in and keep ourselves safe. But rather than dimming to try and fit in, make it your mission to shine your light, because we all have a light within us, and if we shine our light, that is what will make us thrive. So, as always, if you want to go a bit deeper on this topic, do get in touch with me. Very happy to talk to you about it. Thank you for watching. Just a quick reminder to all my local contacts that the Braunton Chakra Dancing class is back on again tonight, so I would love to see you there. And for everybody else, thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back here again next week. Bye for now.